Video. If just might be things.
The iPod. Such as the iPod take video.
Double check,
What are cruising speeds
I
on?
don't know when the last time he was on train. So while there was on trains ago.
Look at him!
I like the helicopter chasing the car. Helicopter chasing.
Here's my train, the Atlantic Coastline. Atlantic Coastline, that's my train. We had this train catalog, and I said, this is the set you should buy. And it turned out to be pretty different. A lot of people tickets. It was for something else.
Hurry up and get off the plane. Hurry up and get ground transport. That's just 3 to 1.
Tickets like.
Oh, I know. We'll see how we get the
I said it's better than Jordan's going to bring stuff to save it. It's like $50 for 35 gallons. Shipping it's like $40. So I'm going to get John understands what
A golden reindeer, a golden reindeer.
Hey Todd, I want to cradle you on the train.
You want to cradle him what?
On the train. That's going to be the first flight on That's what I'm going to go for. The week
Well, that's the one I would go for. You're fighting, you gotta go for the week.
WWE necessarily heard the podcast No, I said, look,
Kyle,
it's
going
a
over.
nice as the snow is. Tomorrow high is 60. Showers developing late tonight. 20 miles an hour. Tomorrow, 20 miles an hour. Chance of rain. 90% rain.
Georgia
for Mike for
VLSU.
his anniversary.
Georgia versus LSU.
Yeah. Is that what y'all have? Yeah. Cool. Maybe y'all can.
I want to go to the tickets out.
I've already been scouting for tickets to cheap for the film.
That's cheap.
Good and good.
That's what we believe.
My friend got done, bought his own engine. It's probably half the size of it, very small. A single guy with a lot of time on it.
Yeah. And they're not expecting anybody next year, so they don't need to where next year.
Santa's warehouse.
And it was what was the area? That's all he can do if I say go upstairs and get your shoes. You know, half an hour later, I'm like, what are you doing? He's built something magnificent out of Legos. Something like shoes.
You guys having such a good day?
As soon as they came out,
Face down.
one too many.
When it was first built, believe it or not, it was hand-powered. The table itself weighs about 80 tons, and they would have been turning 120, 130-ton locomotives pretty regularly by hand. That's possible because right here in the middle of the table is a giant 6-foot bearing. When the locomotive is on the table and properly balanced, that bearing does most of the work. So as the engineer is pulling the locomotive onto the table, he's going to want to balance the top of the bearing. He's doing that by watching the far end of the table there, which is raised up ever so slightly. So if you watch very carefully, you'll see that the rails on that end of the table dip as he reaches that balance point. That's what he's watching for, is the dip of the rails to let him know that he's got it balanced just right. Locomotive 1829 that's pulling our train today is a second-generation diesel-electric locomotive known as a GP7. It has about 1,500 horsepower. By comparison, a modern diesel-electric locomotive hauling freight trains today has between 4,000 and 5,000 horsepower. That's just in the advance of technology over the last 60 years. It's new in 1951.
That's why the guy's sitting back there.
Later on in the turntable's life, it was upgraded with a 25 horsepower electric motor. That keeps us from having to ask for volunteers every time we turn the locomotive around. So that's what we use today is we turn the locomotives with that 25 horsepower motor. That's all it takes to turn over 200 tons. There's also nothing automatic about how the turntable lines up with the tracks over here. It's done purely by sight. So we just double check the rails, we look at them, make sure they're lined up properly before we bring the locomotives on or off the table. We can pretty much restore any steam or diesel locomotive or passenger car that we have and do pretty much anything we need to do to it with all the machinery and shops that we have here. This is an unusual time for us here at TVRM because all 4 pieces that we have in the shop are formerly Southern Railway. Southern Railway existed from 1896 until 1982 when it merged with the Norfolk and Western Railway to form Norfolk Southern Railroad. So on the other side of this steam engine, we have what's known as a GP30. It's a little bit newer than the locomotive that's pulling our trains from about 1962. Has about 2,000 horsepower. And at the back on the right is a streamlined high-speed diesel electric locomotive known as an E8.
Yeah.